going. We are out in Houston at the address that'll be in the photo report. But we're out here to perform a repair on a house for the insurance company that has dictated there are 6 different locations that need repairs done. So that is my job to do, is come out here and perform those repairs. Now, what we started with is an inspection in the attic. This area of Houston is under the ICC is for 2021 for IRC. The International Code Council has brought this from 2015 to 2021. So we are going to be checking for certain things while performing the repairs. My job today is to perform a repair that is code compliant and within manufacturer specifications, that does not leave the roof in an altered or damage propagated situation that it was beforehand. So if doing so, we will not be able to continue forth with repairs. We will attempt them. If we are not able to be able to do that, then we will dictate moving forward from there. First, we're going to start off. There's 4 directional slopes on this. I will mark them off with a compass as well as what face it is. So depending if it's front, back, left, right, north, south, west, east, doesn't matter. It's going to matter, it will matter for when it comes to algae growth, moisture, sides that are going to be higher, what sides are more likely to get damaged, wind facing, what the direction of the storm was facing, what wind came in, the altitude, the wind resistance, the uplift, the age of the building, everything from when we just got out of the attic. We inspected the substrate for the decking and found out that there are multiple things that are wrong. We can see the damaged locations and the leaks that are in there, as well as there are gaps in the sheathing that is more than 1/4 inch in spacing, as well as it is compromised in multiple different areas. So we're going to go up there. We're going to find a rough location of where exactly they are on the roof compared to where they were in the attic, to perform in those locations for best probable cause, since the insurance company did not actually tell us where the damages were. So that's what we're going to be getting up to and do. So follow me on. So, as it is to say, I am not an engineer, public adjuster, or anything of the sort. I'm a contractor and a builder. That is what I am. I'm not here to legally represent or any of that other type of stuff. My opinion comes from that of what the International Code Council dictates, and then what my expertise is working with this material every day. I do not know what her coverage is, what her policy is, nor do I dictate any of that shit, okay? So, on that note, International Code Council's years for 2021. The IEBC is what all of these are going to fall under. If, while performing the repair, the NAFE, if we propagate damage, that is the main question. If we're performing this repair, am I going to create more damage than it would have caused to not perform the repair? Or can I continue? Is there a point in which I can actually end on those things? So, certain building codes that you are going to have to account for. See what direction this is real quick. So this is west. This is also the front. So make sure. International Residential Code 905 or 903.1 is the general manufacturer instructions. Those must be compliant. So code compliance and manufacturer compliance. International Residential Code R 903.2.1 is all flashing locations, such as wall and roof joinings and all other locations. But in particular, these are the ones that are labeled here are just for cliff notes for this exact roof that we're going to be dealing with. International Residential Code R 905.2.1 is your sheathing requirements that are going to be in here for what is on your rafter spacing, on your thickness, on your quite a few different things. International Residential Code R 905.2.2 is your slope for 212 and 412, which is going to have to do with that back patio and area back there. It's going to require 2 layers of underlayment for anything that is between 2 and 4. Everything else after the fact is going to be one layer. If you are closer to the coast and you are under 2024 IRC, you're going to have 2 layer, or you're going to have one solid ice and water membrane, or you were going to have tape along your seams, as well as your, turn that on back, as well as your underlayment. Now, under National Residential Code R 905.1.1 is your underlayment requirements. This ties into the previous one. If I disturb during my repair, or if I leave an area of compromised underlayment when performing my repair, that is me leaving this out of code and out of requirements. Cannot do that. Must bring to current and manufacturer code. So, International Residential Code R 905.2.4 and R 905.2.4.1, which is your product standards and your wind requirements for Texas, for where you are at, for seaward, inward 1, 2, and then going farther in. So you're going to have a higher, I believe it's 150, 140, 130. And then after that, it's your standard manufacturer spec. So believe it or not, they do make 3 tabs that can withstand those, but there's no point in installing those. So if the product that you repair in the area that you repair creates the wind uplift to be changed, the strength of the pull test, the wound that may or may not be occurred during that is going to be out of code and requirement. International Residential Code R 908.3.1.1, your roof recovery. If any of this area is water soaked, deteriorated, or a few other things, it is a bad substrate. And the reason for this is because I cannot fasten the shingle to something that does not hold a nail. That's a whole other thing too. So what we are going to do right now is I'm going to finish writing the exact direction on the roof real quick. Oh God, you hear that sound? Crunching? Just because these 2 little slopes are here. I'll mark this 2. Okay, so then this is going to be right. Okay. Now, a couple of areas that we noticed there were damage. There is a huge depression right here in this area. So I'm gonna look and see if this is where that one is. Oh, yep. Oh shit, I didn't see this. Ha! I didn't even see that, dude. That's really funny. So if you come here, we know, or at least I know right now, this shingle is what is damaged. Or at least one of them. That's my personal opinion. Blah, blah, fuck it. Now, that being said, ooh. Oh, yeah, so I'm guessing these might be a couple more. I gotta be very careful right here. So, let's just say that top one is not a shingle. Let's just say that's 4. We also know that you don't want to wrench on these things. You don't want to actually unseal something that doesn't need to be unsealed. It's just fucking stupid. Woo! You seen that? There we go. Yeah, I was about to say, I know that there's a leak around this shimmy. So I'm gonna say there's one right here. Okay. You said there were 6, right? 6
Yes.
shingles that they accounted for. So let's just say that for benefit of the doubt, because I guarantee you the time period it has been since that storm, that has caused a continuous unravel of other shingles around it, especially when an old woman doesn't have the ability to have the physical strength to get on a roof and do this yourself, because you guys are not allotting for that. That is ridiculous. Now, all that matters for naught. The main thing that matters is this repair. So we're gonna start. All right, so here 3. This is, here, I'm gonna make this rounder so that it doesn't look like a line. So you have, same thing with the bottom. This is 4. I know that there's gonna be another one right around here. So you'll see this too. This is because ionization and trace metal particles. So if there is, okay, so, well, my opinion on that is that's unsealed and damaged, or at least unsealed right now. So let's see if there is anything else around this. It's awesome. This is where I saw some water. And if it's just that, it might just be that. Well, that's creased and okay, so we're already at 6, right? So for those 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also know that there's another one over here, whether they recognize it or not. Doesn't change the fact you just found a bunch of leaks in this lady's house. Oh my God, is that soft? Jeez. Well, now there should be one right here. I guarantee you it's going to be in this zipper somewhere. Nope. Oh man, that's right there. So, oh, there's all this. You can see everything that the winds have gotten under it when it unsealed. So that's faster. Now, we're going to start with this, just these areas, okay? So when we do this, we're going to start with a brittleness test first. Is if this roof is too brittle for me to perform a repair on it, I'm going to be creating damage moving forward, knowing that. So I need to keep that in consideration. If this is too brittle, you're not going to be able to successfully perform a repair on it. You have to know that off rip. Now, still attempting the repair, it is possible, still attempting the repair, you're gonna have to be even more diligent, like about the time it takes. So this is not like during an install of a roof where you can slide and nail shingles. I have to be delicate. So the things that I'm going to be accounting for is the number of times that shingle bends. Okay, I'm going to be accounting for the number of shingles that each repair, or sorry, the number of shingles that each repair affects. With that, I need to look at the condition of the area once the repair has been done. So the condition of the roof, surrounding area. So I'm trying to think. I'm sure I'm missing something right now, but either way. Don't vape, kids. Stay in school. Oh, shouldn't have stepped on that, but whatever. I didn't mean to. All right. So, gonna use these for right now. A couple tools you're gonna need. You don't need this. This is optional. something to measure shingle width of from there. So if you guys are pulling reports, this is roughly a 17-year-old shingle. So obviously they don't make that shingle anymore for that batch. Not the shingle color, not the same thing. They do. It's gonna guarantee it's gonna be a better shingle too, that it's the same version. But it does not mean that it's gonna have the same dimensions. So if I'm wrong on that, please teach me. But that being said, these shingles, I'm gonna put this right here. You're gonna be, if they are unsealed, you need to unseal the shingles that we're gonna be having to unnail. Okay, so we're gonna be going on a left to right motion, not an up and down type, so to avoid damage as possible. Now, let me get a piece of chalk. So this shingle right here. Oh, it's right there. I was gonna say. This shingle right here. You have to unseal this. So this shingle. This shingle. This shingle. And also remember, these shingles aren't just nailed through one time. They're nailed through twice. Nail line, then you're gonna have up here as well. You have twice at these shingles. This shingle goes under here, okay? So that means we are going to mark this one. We're going to mark this one. Okay. Now, in order for me to get this completely undone, this isn't even there. This is just like instantly just peeling. Okay, so when we unseal it, so this is already unsealed, obviously. And this is the shingle I will be trying to, you can already see this, look at this, dude. The second I'm starting to lift this, it's already causing delamination. So, gonna have that in there, you know. I also use this for that because I don't like metal scraping, because that can create damage. Now, take note of that. Can't avoid taking off. You know what? That's transfer, whether you want it to be or not, whether it's mechanical or not. Now, this shingle, the second the shingle has been lifted, and this is not even to 45, I mean, this is barely lifted, dude. It is causing every one of these tabs to come off. And it's earlier in the day too. It's not even super hot right now. So just more and more reasons as to why this is gonna not be done well. Now this needs to be taken in consideration for every single one of these. So when doing that, this you want to start numbing them too. So you can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we will continue to see how many from from there are going to keep being affected. So this is a shingle that we're going for. In order. Okay, that just tore. So you have a tear. I wish I had a different color chalk. Oh, so just account for that tear right here. Tear. So these not even being lifted all the way, causing every single one. So now this one is going to be damaged as well. So what did I just do with the red chalk? Oh, it's right there. Can you hand it up?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was like, I swear I brought more chalk colors for a reason. Okay. So this shingle is now damaged. This shingle is now damaged. Okay, fuck. So last one. Gotta get this bad boy, okay? Left and right, left and right. All right. So, this is now unsealed, and again, less than a 45-degree angle, and every one of these tabs is now popped and unsealed, and it is damaged as well. Last one. Here, I'll even pinch those bad boys. Nope. There we go. Oh, let's. So, that one's now unsealed. These are damaged. Every one of these things is now unsealed. So, this is damaged. Now, that one being damaged, you see how this continues to domino over and over and over again? So, remember also, I gotta take the nails out of this. So, what do you think's happening to this shingle? This is another one that has to be marked. Especially because you want me to drive a nail, you want me to hammer it in. I have to be able to get them. Even if you use a roof snake, which creates damage to the shingles below it. But you want me to be able to get a nail, which I know how to do. I can get the pry bar underneath there and hit it into place using the same way you would use a roof snake. Now, the yep, okay, so this is where the delamination happens. So this is actually going to be an extremely easy shingle to undo. How many times have we bent these shingles, Sean?
Good number so far.
Yep, 4 times roughly. Trying to be delicate here. Gotta get these ones. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Come on. If done right, allows me, this is shingles, twice. So you have your first nail hole, and then you have your second. And if you do not do this right, these nails will not pull out. They will pull, right? They'll pull out with the shingle. Okay. All right, you hold that. All right, now, things to notice on this shingle. Shot, please. Things to notice on this shingle. There's your verification on damage for crease. There's your verification for damage on delamination. There's your verification on 2 times per shingle with minimum of 4, God bless it, minimum of 4 per shingle for out here because we're not in a windstone. Now, what you need to get a picture of, do you see this seal strip right here? Just get a good picture of everything. This seal strip and this seal strip it's called mat transfer. So the reason that mat transfer is bad is because every single shingle that is there that this touched or is sealed to this, the one below it, that's why you can see it, there are big gaps of where the sealant was. This is shot, dude. Now, I'm going to put a shingle back in here because I'm forced to. And then I'm going to tarp this area because it is a leak cause. And she's got storm-related openings on the side. And I know they are that. It's because there's little branches that are broken through it. It's like those did not get there. They are too big for a bird to get through. That is obviously wind blown. That is why the vents are broken the way they are. And it's caused animals to get inside the attic, which is causes them to defecate, which this water is now going to run over before it goes into that house. So, yeah, tell me if you think that's healthy. Now, we're going to perform this repair on this one, and everything else is going to be done. I'm not going to continue, otherwise I'm going to be out here all day replacing however many squares of shingles this entire roof is. So, speaking of which, I need you to remember the International Residential Codes for the R903, or is it 903 or 803? Whatever, for flat flashing. I think it's 803 actually. No, 903, yeah, sorry. All the flashing around that chimney, that's where that shingle leads. So think about this, that's seven shingles right there. Just to say, that's just to say these 7. Let's not even add any more. Let's not account for any of the other more things. Let's say there's 7 there. That's 7. 7. That's not 37. That would make sense. We'll put 4. I'm not a fucking mathematician, so spare me all that shit. Anybody who watches this. 7 flashing. Wall flashing, okay, which means all of it. Now, those here, this shingle up to this shingle. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Crazy. Now, this is obviously going to affect more than that. It's going on here. So, boom, boom, boom. Now, just imagine this. Just keep on. That's one. This is two. And I'm resealing this, so don't fucking worry about it. Yeah, here, two, off. Over. You got next to this front pipe jack, which also, by the way, goes over this hip. So, I'm sorry, hip, not rib. So, this two shingles are damaged. That requires the removal of all this, which leads into there. I must have proper overlap when going over the hips or ridges of things, even with inseam cuts for, or in cuts for ridge ventilation that goes in here. This still has to be properly flashed and sealed. This must lay over, so now I have to make sure that any repair that I do on this facing side has a proper code compliance when going to the rear facing side. Now we're on this back facing side, and I have to perform all repairs that are right here in this direction, that hopefully the damage singularly stays one direction and doesn't geometrically, geologically, whatever the hell it's called, keep continuing to grow that way, let's just say. So now I have this slope that needs to be repaired. I have this slope that needs to be repaired. Those are going to lead into there, because why? Because code compliance relies for my valley metal or valley liner. So my valley liner has to extend 18 inches in either direction. So yeah, valley right here. That sucked. That was stupid. Now I have to have this line up properly with my valley material being inside of both. So now that the code compliance goes from this slope, it has to now continue over to here, which continues over and continues over. So if you do not know how to build something, you're not going to do this right. Same exact thing. Well, this slope goes roof to wall. Well, we've already talked about those codes. We've already talked about how you have to continue over a ridge and hips. So same exact concept. This is not completely cut through. Sadly enough, this and this means that this and this also has to be taken into account. Now, I'm trying to think what else I might need to explain to somebody while doing this. So we are going to pause the video real quick. I'm gonna go grab the